Hi, my name's Sarah, and today I'll be talking about animals during a disaster. So disasters such as earthquakes, floods, fires, and cyclones strike the world's population at least 400 times a year. They kill, injure, and displace millions of people and animals during the process. So it's important to have a plan in place, especially for household pets and any pets that you can transport yourself before disasters hit. So the first step would be preparing a disaster plan for your pets. Knowing your evacuation routes is essential to having time to evacuate your pets and not leaving them behind. So also having multiple safe locations to bring your pets, such as shelters. A lot of local vet clinics will accept some small animals during disasters if they know about the disaster beforehand, like a hurricane. And there's also overnight kennels that do take pets if you do not have the access to bring them with you. And then also sharing plans with neighbors and friends is really important. If you do plan on leaving your pets behind, someone does need to take care of them. You can't just abandon them. So giving someone a key to check on your animals is essential. It's also important to microchip your pets or give them a collar with contact information on it in case they do get displaced. They will oftentimes be returned if they are found after the disaster. And then the last resort is abandoning your pets and leaving them behind. So we do see this a lot with wildfires and some natural disaster events that happen really quickly, and you have no time to prepare for where your animals are going to go. A lot of them do get lost or displaced. So many animals, when they are lost, try to bury themselves in bodies of water or under rocks. But the problem is with bodies of water during wildfires, at least, is they are used to put out the wildfires. So then you have a lack of access to shelter for those animals that do get lost. So a lot of them do end up dying. And an example of this is in 2023, wildfires raged through Greece, and they burned about 50,000 hectares of land, or 500 square kilometers of forest and vegetation, and they decimated wild habitats. So in addition, in just 1 month, the fires emitted at least 3.5 tons of CO2. So not only were habitats ruined, they were completely stripped of biodiversity. The fires created a really big problem with climate change and created a toxic environment for those animals. So by law, in 2006, after Hurricane Katrina, there was an act put into place called the PET Act. It's the Pet Evacuation and Transportation Standards Act. It required pet-friendly emergency shelters during times of disasters to be established in the area. It's federally funded, and FEMA does fund this, but the problem is it doesn't solve the issue for a lot of larger animals and like cattle. So for an example, 9 million pigs were at risk during Hurricane Florence when they hit the Carolinas in 2018. And by law, there were not any laws requiring farmers to aid in the welfare of their pigs, so they were left behind to die. This also applies to zoo animals. So a lot of larger zoos are covered by an NGO called the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, but smaller zoos don't have to abide by this, and they oftentimes aren't covered. So although they are covered under the AWA, the American Welfare or Animal Welfare Act, they oftentimes do not have enough staff or money to aid in the recovery of their facilities after a disaster hits, and a lot of the animals do end up dying. So an example of this is during Hurricane Irma, 2 African elephant antelopes died at the Florida Naples Zoo, and an otter named Rudder died at the Palm Beach Zoo. Both were small facilities. So in conclusion, during disasters, animals are often hit the hardest. If they are displaced, it is a lot harder for them to survive. There's a lot of habitat loss for wildlife, and it takes months, even years, for the habitats to be restored after a disaster. It can wipe out endangered species and create a loss of biodiversity, causing an unstable climate for animals to live in. And then the lack of access to shelters is also an issue for household pets because there's only so much space within these shelters. And like I said earlier, when these disasters do hit without any preparation, it is hard to find accommodation for your animals if you are not taking them with you. So a lot of them do end up stranded or lost. Because oftentimes animals are left stranded from their families or they do end up dying, we should have more federal funding from FEMA or other NGOs that will be able to accommodate animals during times of disasters and restore the community.